Yo, I'm Rule, aka Mega Blitz. In today's video, we're looking at Gholdengo EX. Now, Gholdengo EX has been a deck that's kind of never really been the powerhouse of the format. It's always kind of been around, always been like a tier 1.5 deck, tier 2. We see it sometimes in cut the top 8s at like regionals and stuff, but it's never really had that big push. But with cards like Energy Search Pro coming out to kind of really push that deck forward, this list that I've been playing that's mostly post-rotation safe, I've had a lot of success with it, and I really wanted to share it with you guys today. So let's jump right in to that deck list. Alrighty, here are at that deck list with Gholdengo EX being the star of the show with an ability coin bonus. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. If this Pokemon's in your active spot, you either draw an additional card, has an attack for 1 metal energy, make it rain 50 times. Discard any number of basic energy from your hand. This attack does 50 damage for each card you discard in this way. So, being able to kind of do the Chien-Pao thing or the Raging Bolt thing where we're just really trying to blow up the active spot by discarding a bunch of energies, either from Chien-Pao or a Raging Bolt standpoint from in play, or but Gholdengo is kind of from the hand. So, on top of that, being able to kind of draw some extra cards with coin bonus and stuff really does give this deck a nice draw engine and not really having to rely on Radiant Greninja for post-rotation. But the list that I was playing in the gameplay footage and kind of in the video is playing Radiant Greninja. I don't use it, however, throughout the match. The only cards that I actually use that are going to be rotating are Pokestop one time. I roll Pokestop once, and then I use Lost Vacuum as well. And that's it. The only like 4 cards that are rotating out of this deck is Radiant Greninja, Lost Vacuum, Hisuian Heavy Ball, and 2 Pokestop. But other than that, this deck is rotation ready. As far as what to change, I think Radiant Greninja would just kind of disappear and you would play something like maybe a Vroom and a Retrieval if you really are worried about drawing extra cards or something. But Lost Vacuum, you could just replace that with a second Earthen Vessel. I think that would be pretty helpful for the deck. Hisuian Heavy Ball, you could just replace that with maybe like an Ultra Ball or like a 4th Nest Ball or something. Would be pretty good. I could even see maybe a 3rd Pokegear being useful in the deck. As far as 2 Pokestop goes, I actually thought about Cycling Road, which is just discard an energy from your hand and then draw a card. Kind of still having that draw engine, you just can't hit all the items that you might want, which does feel a little bad. But enough about post-rotation stuff. Let's talk about the rest of the deck list. We got the Munkidori in here with that Adrenaline Brain. If it has a Dark Energy attached, you can move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which is pretty helpful in a pinch if you need it. We got the Iron Bundle for the Hyper Blower in here. If it's on your bench, you can discard this Pokemon, and then your opponent will have to switch in one of their bench Pokemon into the active spot. We have Fezandipiti for Flip the Script, and then we have 3 Ciphermaniacs Codebreaking. I think going to a 4th would be insane in this list, actually, which is search your deck for 2 cards, put them to the top in any order, and then you can kind of combo that with the coin bonus. If it's in the active spot, you get to draw 2 cards. If coin bonus and your Gholdengo's on the bench, you get to draw 1. So, Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking kind of paired with the Gholdengo is really good. 3 Arven, 2 Boss, 2 Turo, 4 Spirit Energy Retrieval, 4 Buddy Buddy, 3 Nest Ball, 2 Night Stretcher, 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Pokegear, 1 Earthen Vessel, Energy Search Pro for our ace back of choice, which is search deck for any number of basic energy cards of different types, reveal them and put them into your hand. So, which is why we were kind of playing one of each energy type. 1 Lost Vacuum, 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, 1 Pal Pad, 1 Switch, 1 Technical Machine Evolution. I think 2 would be really good in this deck, actually. 2 Pokestop, and then 3 Metal Energy, 2 Dark, 2 Water, 1 Psychic, 1 Grass, 1 Fighting, 1 Fire, and 1 Electric Energy. So, let's jump right in. Already here at that Gholdengo gameplay at the coin flip is going to be tails. So we have the choice to go first or second. This is kind of where I think a second Technical Machine Evolution would really help. So going second doesn't feel as bad if you end up prizing your Technical Machine Evolution. Unfortunately, we do have to mulligan our hand. Pretty solid hand to start there. We have Buddy Buddy popping and stuff kind of ready to go. We're going to have a Gimmighoul to start in the active spot. We got Arven, 2 Superior, that's Psychic Energy, Turo, and a Pal Pad. So not super great, but especially since we're going first, we're kind of in this really awkward position now where we actually wish we were going... Since we were going first, we wish we were going second because we had Arven, so we could go, you know, Buddy Buddy plus TM Evo, and then Buddy Buddy, get 2 Gholdengos and kind of go that route. But not too big of a deal. We got a Gholdengo here. We're just going to have to hope that our opponent just can't blow up our board with their Radiant EX deck, which is very extremely possible. They kind of all they really have to do is just kind of get themselves into a situation where that Raikou is ready to go, or they can amp it, or arm press, or photon blaster, or anyone that are lightning type Pokemon on the bench would be kind of insane. So Squawk and Seas here, going to discard their hand, draw 6. Hisuian Heavy Ball going to get that Pikachu EX, going to put the Pikachu EX on the board, having that Air Zero Underdepths as well. So kind of in a position where they're going to have that nice big full bench, trying to just increase their odds for that electric generator. Getting that Latias EX, and they got the free retreat as well. We got a Tandem unit still able to come down here. So Tandem unit and grab that Magnemite. And I'm like, well, this is not great. They've already kind of went through half their deck. They haven't really played any generators. All right, attached to the Squawk ability for turn. And they have to motivate for 20 damage. So we got extremely lucky there that they weren't able to kind of just donk us right off the rip. We touched like a Gholdengo EX here. So we're going to look at the deck. And we're going to, okay, you know what we need to do? Get the Technical Machine Evolution. Probably get ourselves that Buddy PAF, and then maybe try to get ourselves into the energy off of the coin bonus. But we already had the energy attached to our Gholdengo from that psychic energy from the turn previous. So trying to kind of just dig for the deck, trying to get a metal energy maybe to attach to one of the bench Gimmighoul or something. But we're just gonna have to take a turn here and go Technical Machine Evolution to get 2 Gholdengos on the bench. Pretty slow start for us here. But like I said, this deck is mostly post-rotation, which does tend to be a little bit slower. Real quick, just recap. The only cards we have in the deck that are kind of going to rotate out is there's 2 Pokestops, Hisuian Heavy Ball, Lost Vacuum, and the Radiant Greninja, which are very crucial cards. But like I said, we don't end up using Radiant Greninja at all in this gameplay. I don't believe we use Hisuian Heavy Ball either. We use Vacuum, I think, at one point, and we roll Pokestop once. So this pretty much entire gameplay really just comes down to Gholdengo being post-rotation, which I think does have a leg to stand on going post-rotation. Just this is a list I've been playing because there's no reason to limit my deck with bad cards or not as good cards when I still have access to them. And at this point, I was trying to kind of climb to Arceus League, which is why we're here. So our opponent here going to have that Tandem unit, going to be able to get a Raichu down, Electric Generator attaching to the Raichu as well. Bravery Charm to that Raikou V. And I'm like, you know what? That's not super ideal for us. But we end up in a position where we're actually able to remove that Bravery Charm. We get our Vacuum and remove the Charm. But even if we don't have Vacuum, it's not too big of a deal. We should be able to one-shot that Raikou V, even if it had Bravery Charm. Not too big of a deal. So, like I said, we grab the Vacuum, I believe, here. Or, sorry, we grab Energy Search Pro, and then we're going to Energy Search Pro, get one of every single type of energy, attach that energy to the Gholdengo. We would have all the energy here to just kind of take the knockout. But like I said, we end up drawing into, I believe, our Lost Vacuum at some point in time off of some of these coin bonuses here. And there's that Lost Vacuum, like I said. Yep, so we end up getting into the Lost Vacuum, coin bonus into another Buddy PAF, and we're going to Lost Vacuum. And I don't really care too much about the Area Zero Underdepths, actually. As my Gholdengo in the active spot's kind of already damaged. We're dealing with the Raikou V right now, so it's not too big of a deal. So we only have to commit 4 energies to it. But like I said, we had the 5, so the Vacuum doesn't feel that big of a deal when using it after kind of looking back. So taking our 2 prizes here, putting us at a 4-6 split. We're going to get that Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking. I really would like to see a 4th Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking. I actually think what I might do is I'll kind of edit the deck list to what I would play Gholdengo post-rotation, and I'll actually just post that in the description below instead of this deck list. So then it's kind of more rotation proof. So our opponent here going to have that Forest Sealstone, going to be able to kind of start rocking and rolling, going to have the free retreat out the Latias as well, going to use that Star Alchemy, getting a Magneton as well, going to be able to use that Overvolt Discharge ability here, going to KO their own Magneton to be able to commit some energies to that Iron Hands EX. So giving us a prize card, putting us at a 3-6 split. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Not too big of a deal. They're going to be able to just retreat, amp our Gholdengo for 3 prizes, which does feel pretty bad. But we're kind of in a spot where we can just counter KO the Iron Hands and not have to worry about it too much. So they're going to be able to take 3 prize cards here, like I said, which does feel pretty bad. But we're going to promote our Gholdengo EX here. Attach that metal energy. Gonna be able to have access to a lot of things here. We have superior energy retrieval. We got Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking. We got Earthen Vessel. So I'm actually gonna Earthen Vessel, and we're gonna pitch one of the energies to kind of just get another metal energy out of the deck here. Just trying to kind of thin the deck as much as I possibly can before I go to use Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking and start drawing a bunch of cards off coin bonus and stuff. So we're going to end up grabbing that Pokestop here and then a Night Stretcher as well. So we put both those to the top, coin bonus into both of those, and then we use the Pokestop, bounce the Area Zero Underdepths, forcing our opponent to kind of discard. I think it's they discard either, the Miraidon. I thought it was the Squawkabilly, but they're going to be the Miraidon there. Coin bonus going to draw into that. Pokestop, we're going to roll, get a Buddy PAF and a Nest Ball, which are pretty much just about dead at this point in the game. So we're going to use our Spirit Energy Retrieval here, and we're going to pitch our Buddy Poffin in a Gimmighoul here to get his 4 energies back, and we're just going to grab that Grass, that Fire, that Water, and that Psychic Energy here. Gonna have access to a couple things. Make It Rain here. Gonna be able to discard 5 energies for 250 damage to take a knockout on that Iron Hands EX, putting us at a 1-3 split. So we're in a pretty solid position. I feel like we're in a position where we have Boss. If they don't Iono us or anything, we could just go Boss, pull up your Squawk, and Spirit Energy Retrieval, get some energies, and kind of go that route. So we have quite a bit of options here. So our opponent going to bench an Iron Hands EX here. And now I'm like, okay, do you really have it? Are you able to KO our Gholdengo EX with your Raichu? It kind of seems you're going that route. You need some more energies to be able to do so. I think they need 1 more energy to be able to actually get to that point. Or sorry, I think 2 more energies to get to that point. And I don't know if they have the kind of draw power to get there. They end up using the Tandem Unit here, kind of looking through the deck. Gonna use that generator. Gonna try to hit something. Gonna end up hitting an energy, but only gonna hit 1 energy off of that. But they're gonna attach for turn here, and I'm like, okay, that's not great. You can retreat and then Dynamic Spark, take a KO, and kind of go that route. So we'll have to see what their plan is here. Night Stretcher gonna grab themselves a Rotom V, and they're gonna actually instant charge for turn. Really kind of waiting the long con here. Really being like, okay, you probably have the KO with your other Gholdengo EX if I do that. And I'm at a position where I'm like, okay, I need to be able to remove this. And I end up just nest balling for the Iron Bundle. I don't really have to. I don't know why I was kind of like, oh, I have to draw all these cards. I didn't realize that I just kind of have it. I guess is kind of my big thing. I guess I was more concerned about not having enough energy was my big concern. But we end up having Superior Energy Retrieval in hand. We got to use the Iron Bundle, the Hyper Blower. Pull up. They ended up just promoting anything. It doesn't really matter what they promote. They promote the Iron Hands EX to kind of be like, hey, you probably don't have all the energies that you actually need to take a knockout, which I do. I had the Spirit Energy Retrieval in hand, so we just pitch whatever 2 cards. It doesn't matter. Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, grab ourselves those 4 energies there. Then we go to Make It Rain for 350 damage with our Gholdengo EX, taking our last prize card to win the game, getting the Hisuian Heavy Ball off the prize cards there, actually. So really being able to showcase that a pretty much post-rotation Gholdengo deck is ready to rip and tear and ready to go. I've really been enjoying Gholdengo EX. It's been a really fun deck to play, just drawing all these cards and stuff. And even if you end up getting Badooed, it doesn't feel too bad because you're able to kind of navigate around it. It's pretty easy to knock out just a Badoo. You only need 1 energy to do so. And even if they try to Badoo you late game, as long as you're able to kind of hold like 1 or 2 energies in your hand towards the end of the game, you'll be more than capable to handle a Badoo. I've actually ran into that a couple times where my opponent tries to Badoo me late at the end of the game, and I end up holding an energy or 2, so it doesn't really matter. But let's jump right in to that outro. Alright, it's going to jump for today's video. I'm going to make sure to put deck lists that I played in today's video in the description below, ready for copy paste into TCG Live. And like I said, I'll also make sure to kind of update the deck list for post-rotation as well, and then put that in the description below as well for you guys for into TCG Live. And while you're down there enjoying the content I've been making stuff for here on the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. And definitely do me a favor, scroll down and make sure you are subscribed, because in the last 28 days, it says only about 40% of my viewers are actually subscribed. So you might think you're subscribed, but do me a favor, scroll down and check, because if you aren't, you definitely should be. And that's going to do it all for today's video. Once again, I want to shout out all of my awesome channel members you see here. So thank you to all of you guys for supporting the channel even further by joining the Trainer Club for only 99 cents a month. You're able to do so getting exclusive emotes and badges and things like that, and a special role in the Discord, photo status updates, private reply to comments, and a whole lot more. Let's go do it all for today's video. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace!